5:31 PI.
This is Pacific Mornings on 5:31 PI for Thursday, the 14th of August. It is 8:34. Great to be in your company this morning. Now, it's a proposed change that could have a huge impact on the lives of young people in the Solomon Islands. The government is moving to raise the legal marriage from 15 to 18, bringing it in line with the voting age and international child protection standards. Right now, 1 in 5 girls in the Solomons are married before they turn 18, and in rural areas, it's 1 in 4. Joining us from Honiara to discuss what this change could mean for children, families and communities is Save the Children Project Manager Ellen Kahui. A very good morning to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning.
Good morning. Look, from your perspective, why is raising the legal marriage from 15 to 18 an important step for the Solomon Islands?
Yes, thank you so much, William. Okay, so from our perspective, I'd say that raising the legal marriage age in the Solomon Islands from 15 years to 18 years is a crucial reform because it protects children who are inherently vulnerable from forced early unions. Even with parental consent, marriage at such a young age can hinder a child's physical, emotional, and educational development and deprive them also of their fundamental rights. So we believe that it is now high time for our country to amend laws that needs to be aligned to certain international conventions, such as the United Conventions Rights of a Child, which our country has ratified in 1995. So we believe it is now high time for us to realign our outdated laws to the conventions that we have ratified in order to better protect our children from early marriage.
Certainly. Now, just to pick up on that further, a report shows that 1 in 5 girls are married before 18, and in rural areas it's 1 in 4. How do these early marriages impact, say, girls' education, health, future opportunities?
Well, I'd say that early marriage of girls severely undermines their rights, especially to education, health, and future prospects. Because once married, girls are often unable to complete their schooling, cutting off opportunities for advancement. Their health is also at risk, and studies have shown that adolescent pregnancies are both common among married girls and a leading cause too of death for girls aged between 15 to 19 years worldwide, of course. So, moreover, the children of child brides face increased dangers, and they are more likely to be born with a low birth weight, suffer from malnutrition, experience poor physical development, and face high rates of mortality than children born to older mothers. So these are some of the many negative impacts of child marriage for girls. Yeah.
Certainly, and you've touched on the points already, but I wonder if we went into more specifics in terms of the long-term effects. What have you observed in communities where early marriage is prevalent?
Yes, thank you, William. So girls who marry before the age of 18 are more likely to face domestic violence and are less likely to stay in school, largely because early marriage often leads to adolescent pregnancy, like I've mentioned earlier. So this prevents them from fully developing and maturing before taking on the responsibilities of family life. It's essentially a case of a child raising a child, So what makes this issue even more alarming are the serious health risks tied to adolescent pregnancy and childbirth, among the leading causes of death for girls aged 15 to 19. So early marriage also increases the likelihood of lifelong poverty. So these are just some of the many long-term harmful consequences of child marriage. So during our consultation, it was incredibly encouraging to hear directly from the children themselves. We've consulted 185 children and youths also who strongly supported raising the legal age of marriage from 15 to 18 years.
Now, if Parliament passes the law, what do you see as the biggest challenges perhaps in implementing and actually enforcing it?
That's a good question. So one that clicks to mind now would be the socialization and the enforcement part of the law constrained by our geographic and limited resources, funding and staff. So This is in order to socialize the act once it gets amended. But however, as we transition into phase two of our project, one of our top key priorities is to strengthen collaboration with other stakeholder partners to effectively address this challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And in rural areas where early marriage rates are, say, higher, how can the government and NGOs like Save the Children ensure the law is perhaps actually understood and ultimately respected?
Yes, so in our efforts to share legal information, Save the Children and our partners, World Vision and Child Fund, we don't operate in silos, yeah, but we collaborate closely with relevant government ministries such as the Law Reform Commission to carry out consultations and conduct community outreach. And additionally, we engage community-based child protection champions such as faith leaders and local chiefs as well as yes other service providers too who help foster an environment where our team can effectively engage with community members. So we plan to follow the same approach when the law is amended, while also involving a broader range of stakeholder partners in the process. Yeah.
Right. Has there been any pushback at all to this idea of lifting the age to 18?
Um, from from the consultations that we've had, the collective voice of people that was captured in our Make It 18 report are all in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all agree that yes, this section of the law has to be amended, but and there's no pushback, I must say, but only the processes that in the system that we need to follow in order to ensure that there is a policy paper in place. Yeah, in order to quicken the process and have Section 10 of the Islanders Marriage Act gets amended. Yeah.
How do you address, and this is perhaps a nuanced answer, so how do you address cultural and traditional practices that may actually conflict with the new legal standard or advice?
Yeah, so I'd say that there's no denying that cultural and social resistance will likely be at the outset, and that is why we plan to work closely with stakeholder partners to develop com complementary policies and law reforms. We'll also focus on targeted training and resource allocation, empowering local communities and leaders, conducting widespread awareness campaigns, strengthening local level registration, monitoring, and enforcement systems, and implementing economic support programs to tackle the root causes of child marriage. Yeah. Taking into account the cultural aspect of it also. Yeah.
Has Save the Children worked with young people in the Solomon Islands to raise awareness about their rights around marriage? And if you have, what's the response been like? We may have had our first cut in technology. That happens. We're beaming live to the Solomon Islands. Do bear with us as we do.
Yes.
There we
So
go.
under the CVAP question, and this, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry, stay in there. We just broke up a little bit. I'm going to ask you the question again in terms of have you worked with young people in the Solomon Islands and what's their response been?
Yes. So under the
We'll go to a short ad. You're listening to Pacific Mornings on 5:31 p.m. We'll come back. Stand by.
Attention all Aotearoa, saving the world. Thank you for showing up for your family and community every day. We appreciate you. But even heroes need checkups. Your next...
Sorry, stand by. We'll be with you in around 30 seconds. We're just trying to reconfigure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me know if you can hear me now.
Yes, you're coming through now. Just stand by. We're almost there. We'll come in again and talk to you.
Okay.
Does someone in your house sound like this? Or like this? Does the wheezing and coughing stop them getting out and living a normal life? They need to take the cough test. Go to coughtest.co.nz. Take the cough test and show it to the doctor. Coughtest.co.nz. It's free. Prescription medicine. Medicines have risks and benefits. GlaxoSmithKline, New Zealand Limited, Auckland.
All new Pacific Mornings with Will on 531 PI.
All right, you're listening to Pacific Mornings on 531 PI. We're returning to the conversation that we had just before we went to an ad break around the Solomon Islands looking to raise the legal marriage from 15 to 18. Joining me once again is Save the Children's Project Manager Ellen Kahui. Now let's pick up where we left off in terms of, are you working with children and what's the response been like with them? Oh gosh, it is one of those mornings. There we go.
Coalition, which comprises of Save the Children. William.
You can carry on. It's working.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Under the CVAP Coalition, we did conduct consultation with young people aged between 18 to 34, as well as those younger children, to discuss what are their opinions around child marriage. And the response was resoundingly clear that child marriage at age 15 is unacceptable. So they wholeheartedly support raising the minimum marriage age to 18, including also for customary marriage. And they also emphasize the need for age verification, consent prior to marriage ceremonies as well. And stronger deterrence should also be imposed. A majority, I'd say 90% of the children and youths, as well as adults being consulted, they also stated that a 5,000 fine or penalty should be imposed for those facilitating child marriage. Yeah, and there's also a quote from one of the children that we've done the consultation with. This is young Teresa, who powerfully stated that 15 years old him age for Picanini inside school yet, yeah, which means 15 years old is still a child's age and supposed to be in school. So her words highlight the importance of giving children time to learn, grow, and prepare for the future instead of forcing them into early marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And finally, how does this proposal compare to marriage laws in other Pacific nations, and what lessons can the Solomon Islands perhaps learn from them?
Yes. So from research, I can say that I found out that only 4 Pacific Island countries, which are Kiribati, Fiji, Nauru, and the Republic of Marshall Islands, have set the minimum legal age of marriage at the international recognized standard of 18 years. That is in contrast to several other countries, including Tonga and Solomon, still allow marriage as young as 15. So this should serve as a wake-up call for us in Solomon Islands. Yeah, like it is time that we take a stand and push for change to protect our children from child marriage. Yeah. So one of the lessons learned from Fiji would be the need to socialize and enforce the act to, I'd say, across the Solomon Islands in order to inform people of this new law change. And from there, the support also, I'd say to also maintain this collaboration that we have with other stakeholder partners in ensuring that the act gets socialized and there's also acceptance would be one of the other key steps that we are looking into. Yeah, because at the end of the day, every child has the right to education. They have the right to develop fully, and they also have the right to be protected. Yeah, and these rights must be upheld. And the people have voiced their support for raising the legal marriage age, and now it's up to our government to act on this urgent call. Yeah, because every delay in amending Section 10 of the Islanders Marriage Act puts more children at risk, yeah, of getting married at an early age. So my call would be, let's all come together and end child marriage. Yeah, our children are our future leaders. Let's protect them, because justice delayed is justice denied. Help us make this change. Yeah, let's make it 18. Thank you, William.
Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more with what you said there at the end. Powerful statement indeed. That is Save the Children Project Manager Ellen Kahui there, beaming into us, of course, from the Solomon Islands. Thank you so much for your time. You have a lovely rest of your day, eh?
My pleasure, William.